Hello, and here we are for round 13 of AOR Season 15 PC Assist League 1, and it takes us to Japan, which arguably is one of my least favourite tracks on the calendar, and it's because of this sector here. Sector 1 really suits the wheel compared to the controller, which is what I use and what Jaeger uses. So yeah, the two of us really going to struggle in this qualifying session, as most of the people in this league do use the wheel. And yeah, this was the track which I got my worst result of the season last season. I only scored 10th place there, and it arguably was the race which cut an end to my championship fight, because I had a real chance to capitalise on my championship rival after he crashed out at the beginning of the race, but he was able to recover well, and I really didn't have to pace that race. So yeah, it was quite a demoralising race last season, but yeah, here we are now, ready to bounce back. I've actually worked out why my traction was so bad last time out in Malaysia. I think I'd accidentally put it on full traction instead of medium traction control, so that was really hindering my traction. So hopefully I could do a bit better today, but I'm not really hoping for much, especially around the track, which is not good. And you can see I was actually doing quite well this lap, and then get on the curb, and that's the thing with medium traction. I mean, if you get on the curb, it can spit you out if you put full throttle. I mean, it's not as bad as no traction, but yeah, just losing a second just because of a simple mistake. And yeah, considering that my banker lap was also spoilt by a mistake, and the rest of the laps have been spoiled by corner cuts. Yeah, it's not really looking good. As we get down the final straight, and it's a 1:30.9, and that was only good enough for P12 in the end. So arguably I probably could have been amongst Jaeger if I didn't have that tank slapper. I actually was on a much better lap the lap after, but unfortunately that also got a corner cutting warning. So yeah, you can see as well, Llama once again doing the best out of us THL lots, actually getting P8, which is way better than what me and Jaeger managed to do. And yeah, here we are now for the race, and it's going to be quite a simple one stop. I'm going to opt for soft onto medium. I think that's what quite a lot of the guys towards the back are doing. I'm going to pit onto lap 12 and then sort of see if we can stretch the mediums to the end. So here we are now, and we're going to be lining up 12 out of 13. So I think JCP didn't actually set a time in qualifying. So yeah, we're going to have to sort of quite a clean run into turn 1, hopefully. Just trying to keep out of trouble at this early stage. That's what it's always best to do when you start the back. Yeah, once again, actually getting Jaeger up the inside. You can see there's a big crash already involving Korn, and you see correctly he's also come off. He nearly tags Horvey as well, and just like that, we're up into P9. Jaeger manages to get the position on us, but he's going to have a compromised run into this S section, and of course he's on the controller as well, so he's going to struggle just as much as us, but we're not able to hang around the outside. So Jaeger will keep that P8 for now. So yeah, us Jaeger and JCP all gaining 3 positions off the start as a result of the 3 people who crashed out. So yeah, straight away more bad luck for my teammate Kweki, who has actually raced in quite a long time. But here we are now on to lap 2. We're keeping up with these guys quite well. Horvey's actually already getting put under pressure from Jaeger, so the super soft runners aren't actually pulling away as quickly as we thought. Of course they already had, well, they were on a used set of super softs because they had to use the same tyres they used during qualifying, so that's the luxury we have on the softs. But again, the softs nowhere near as fast as the supers in this early stage of the race. But you can see Jaeger already trying to put Horvey under pressure. He's actually going to try to go side by side as you head up the straight, and we're going to head towards 130R, a corner which you really don't want to go side by side in. They're going to try to go side by side. Horvey holds it around the outside, so I really thought that was going to be a crash there, because you don't normally go side by side by that corner and pull it off. So well done to those two for clean racing. Meanwhile, we're going to try to get a good run on Jaeger. This is probably going to be one of our only chances. And you can see actually JCP's dropped off the back of us, and actually Omar's overtaken him. So yeah, we're just trying to put Vladimir under pressure into turn 1. Again, just not able to do much. It's actually quite a good track for Jaeger, even so it's he is on the controller like me. But you can see now up ahead, Jaeger's actually in 8th place, and he's yeah, just able to pull away. And Llama and Horvey as well have also been able to pull away a bit on their super softs. So yeah, it's beginning to stabilise in the early part of the race. I mean, sure enough, don't really have the pace to keep with the Woodfield, which is quite unfortunate, but to be expected around Japan. I mean, I'm definitely doing better than the last 2 races as we get headed to P8 now, as I think that was Martin who actually pit. So we're in a pit stop with the leaders, which is definitely good. Much better than other races. But you can see Jaeger has binned it in the wall, trying to lap a ghost car. And yeah, Jaeger's season's gone from bad to worse. I mean, he's definitely had a better season than me, but he's been involved in so many incidents, so many crashes, and yeah, just again, it's easy to lose traction on the controller in that part of the track. So I definitely feel for Jaeger in that. respect. But here we are now. It's going to actually get in another position. Sorry, this is Martin now in the pit. So yeah, as I said, we're in a pit stop of the leaders, which is definitely better than what I've been doing recently. So yeah, hopefully we can keep this up. And of course, I think everyone's going to probably be on a 1 stop. But here's hoping that some will be caught up by the 2 stop. But here we are now. We're going to actually overtake a few more cars. Here's Horvey into the pits, Entity in the pits, and 7 in the pits. So we're actually up into 3rd now. Of course, it's not a legitimate 3rd. I think we're net P7, P8. But again, we're actually going to go up into P2 now, as Stephanace is in the pits. So yeah, even so, it's not a legitimate P2. We haven't actually seen this position much all season. I mean, we've actually had an immense start in China, which I thought I was actually competing for the podium for until everyone did a massive undercut. But I mean, yeah, I mean, again, we're in P2 for one of the first times this season. And as Llama peels into the pits, we're actually going to inherit the lead. And yeah, it's not going to be for long, but yeah, we're actually going to temporarily inherit the lead. And you might be wondering why I didn't come in that lap. But yeah, I saw Llama stretched out the super softs for 12 laps, and I thought, well, if he can do it, then surely he's going on to softs next. So I thought I'll probably try the 1 stop onto super softs, as that should be a bit faster. But of course, as you can imagine, because I'm having to stretch out these softs, they have no pace towards the end, and yeah, the leaders quickly caught us up. So you get another corner cutting warning there. I think that's my 2nd or 1st of the race. So kept it quite clean compared to some races, but of course we're going to be literally dead meat. I'm heading into this sector now, as yeah, sure enough, everyone's just going to pile up our inside. Just not really trying to fight them. I mean, there's no point really. We're just going to be losing time. We're probably losing time as it is now, staying out on worn sauce. So I mean, we're going to be nowhere near the pack which we were battling with before. But yeah, hopefully we can actually have quite a good ends to the race on our super sauce. And yeah, hopefully we can hunt down the likes of Horvey. I think Llama's going to be a bit of a stretch because of course he's going to be on those soft tyres. But yeah, here comes Entity now, and yeah, we've already fallen from 1st to 5th within a lap and a half, if that actually. So yeah, here we are, just going to let Entity pass. There's no point really fighting him. And you can see Schraub's actually retired from the session. And yeah, we're down to 10 runners already, and 2 of them have actually disconnected. So there's only 8 people now in contention. Well, in contention for the race. Yeah, so we're literally guaranteed P8, which yeah, I mean, it's a bit of luck involved. We actually had much more starters than previously, but I mean, yeah, it's just been a race of attrition now as people have just been crashing out. And yeah, we've sort of been gifted the top 8. But I'm not really going to moan because I really need the points right now. Our best position was 7th this season, which has been very poor compared to last season where I clocked up 3 wins and 15 podiums. So yeah, here we are now. We're going to exit the pits and we're going to be P7. Nowhere near the likes of Horvey, but he is going to be on the mediums. But also we got Kweki behind us, and although he's on the softs, older softs, and he's yeah, about 15 seconds behind us, I wouldn't count him out at all because Kweki is one of the fastest guys in this league. And although he hasn't raced in a long time, sure enough, you can see he's gaining on us. But we're also trying to gain on Horvey a bit. Yeah, it's not as much as I probably wanted. We're only gaining about a 2nd a lap. But yeah, I mean, hopefully we can put him under enough pressure that he makes a mistake. But you can see now we're getting another penalty. That's actually our 1st penalty of the race. But we're getting actually a warning as well. So yeah, penalty and a warning. So I think that's a bit harsh for one little corner cut. But here we are now. We've brought the gap down to 10 seconds to Horvey. We've closed him in by 2 seconds in the last 3 laps. But again, this is not enough at this rate, and yeah, we're being put under increasing pressure from Kweki. As you can see, there's 2 ghost cards up ahead. So yeah, as I was saying, we're guaranteed at least P8 because you can see the 2 ghost cards up ahead. They're not going to be challenging us anytime soon unless we crash out of the race. Yeah, that was really something I didn't want to do right now. But you can see Horvey's retired, and that's gifted us P6. So all of a sudden, we find ourselves in the best position of the season. And yeah, it's just trying to hold on from our teammate now because Llama's well up the road. He's 15 seconds up the road, so there's no catching Llama even on our fresher tyres. And yeah, sure enough, Kweki has caught us up, but we're going to try to defend. We're not going to let him pass like we normally have. We're going to try to defend, and we go into the end of sector 1, and we go wide. And yeah, I'm normally alright at the defending, but I mean, I just really wanted to hold on the position to Kweki because there's not many times I've been able to outperform him in a race. I mean, admittedly, he did get crashed out into turn 1 of the race. But I was really hoping I could have a nice battle with him, and then sure enough, I have to bin it and nearly take out my teammate in the process. So he just managed to save the car, but that's Entity, who's round again. So he's battling near the front, and once again, the championship leader is having a race to forget. So I don't know how he's still leading the championship because half his races he's crashed out. And yeah, that was all she wrote for the race, getting another corner cutting warning, but we're only going to have to run penalty, which is better than usual. We're going to cross the line for a season's best of 6th place. Quite an anticlimactic way to do it. I mean, we sort of gifted the position by people crashing out and people disconnecting, but I'll take the 8 points. And you can see now Entity actually getting put under more pressure as Seven, Stephanator and Martin close within 18 points of him. So it's going to be a photo finish for the championship. A 5-way fight if you include Kweki for the title. Kweki, even though he's missed the last 2 races, he's definitely still in with a shout. Llama, the only other mover, goes from 9th to 7th, overtaking his teammate Vladimir Jaeger. Meanwhile, in the constructors, no real movement, but Renault are actually getting closed down by Toro Rosso after Llama's really good result. But again, we're the only team to get a double points finish. But yeah, Llama getting a podium in the end. So Seven having 2 penalties, and that allowed Llama to get the podium spot. So well done for Llama, and his strategy really working out. But yeah, that's going to be it from this time, and see you next time in USA.